Hello and welcome to Lantern Lane Stories. Tonight's story is The Rhinoceros of Lisbon. I was born where the air is hot and thick, where my mother's skin was gray like mine, and where the grasses grew taller than any creature I knew. This was India, many, many years ago, long before there were ships. Long before there were words for far away, I was happy there. My skin felt the warmth of the sun, the earth smelled of rain and spice. At night, the sounds were different. Calls of animals I could feel but not see echoing across the grasslands. My mother was strong. She taught me to be strong too, but one day, everything changed. Men came. Not many at first, but more and more. They built a wooden structure around me, not a cage, exactly, but a space. A ship, I later learned. The sounds became strange, the smell of salt, the rocking motion that never stopped. For months, I traveled across water like the sky, but wet. Water that went on forever in every direction. I did not know if I would ever feel solid ground beneath my feet again. The sailors called me by a name in their language. I have forgotten what it was. All I remember is the rocking of the ship and the salt spray on my gray skin and a deep loneliness that seemed to match the endless blue around me. Then, one morning, I smelled it. Land. The ship slowed. The rocking became less violent. I felt solid ground beneath me for the first time in so long that I had almost forgotten what it felt like. The gates opened, light poured in, bright, golden Mediterranean light. I walked onto stone. The city was called Lisbon. The streets were narrow and steep, climbing up and up like the animal inside my chest was climbing too. The buildings were pale, cream and white and ochre, nothing like the green grasslands of my home. But the people, oh the people, they came from everywhere, staring. Their eyes were wide, their mouths made sounds I had never heard before. Some children pointed, some grown-ups took a step back. I was the strangest thing they had ever seen. A palace was prepared for me, a large space with high walls. The sun came in the mornings, hot and bright, and the shade came in the afternoons. I learned the rhythm of Lisbon, the church bells at dawn, the market sounds in the morning, the quiet heat of midday, the cool evening wind coming off the river, the Tagus I later learned it was called. One of the men who came to see me was named Valentim. He was a printer, a maker of words, a spreader of stories. I did not understand printing then, but I understand now. Valentim watched me for a long time. He studied the shape of my horn, the folds in my skin, the way I moved. Then he did something strange. He sat down with paper and a pen, and he began to write. I did not know then that he was writing about me. I did not know that he was trying to capture in words and simple drawings what I looked like. I must tell my friend Albrecht. I imagine, he said, my friend who lives far away in a place called Nuremberg. He has never seen a creature like this. He must know about the rhinoceros. The letter took weeks to travel. It crossed mountains, it crossed forests, it crossed towns and cities I will never see, but it arrived. In a workshop in Nuremberg, a man named Albrecht Dürer read Valentin's letter. Dürer was a great artist. His hands could carve, his eyes could see, his mind could imagine things that no one else could see. But he had never seen a rhinoceros. He held Valentim's sketch. It was rough, small, barely more than a few lines, but it held the truth of what I looked like. Dürer read the words. He tried to imagine me. What is her skin like? How thick is she? How large? Where is her horn exactly? What kind of armor does she wear? Dürer did not have time to sail to Lisbon. He did not have time to see me with his own eyes. So instead, he did something brave. He picked up his woodblock, his carving knife, and he began to imagine. For days, Dürer carved. His knife moved, removing wood, creating shadows. He carved my body, thick, powerful, strange. He carved my horn, and here he imagined it larger than it was, more dramatic, more like the horn of a warrior. He carved my skin with lines that made it look like armor, like I was built for battle, like I was a creature of legend, not just a real animal from India. He carved my eye, small but present, watching, aware. Finally, the wooden block was done. He pressed it with ink, black and white, bold lines. When I finally saw the image, years later, when I could understand such things, I did not recognize myself at first. But I was honored. That image traveled further than I ever did. Dürer printed it once. It became many copies. Those copies traveled in the hands of merchants, in the pockets of travelers, in the studios of other artists. The image went to France, to Italy, to Spain, to England, to every corner of Europe. For 200 years, 200, when anyone in Europe thought of a rhinoceros, they thought of Dürer's carving. Few of them had ever seen a real rhinoceros, but everyone had seen his image. His imagination had become the truth. I don't know where Dürer's wooden block is now. Perhaps it still exists in some museum dark with age and handling, but his image still travels, still speaks, still teaches people about a creature they have never seen. I remember Lisbon, the stone streets, the salt smell, the curious eyes of children. I remember Valentim writing his letter. I remember the ship rocking across endless water. I remember the grasslands of my home. And I like to think that somewhere, a child is going to sleep, remembering a story about a rhinoceros, about a journey, about a letter, about an artist in a distant city who saw something he had never seen and made it real anyway through imagination and wood and careful hands. That child might one day go to Lisbon. They might walk the narrow streets where I once walked. They might stand in the spot where I stood and know that something extraordinary happened there centuries ago. They will know that the world is larger than they imagine. They will know that stories travel further than bodies, and so Lisbon also slowly fell asleep. Good night.